All right, math minions. We're here to look at some more area of some polygons, right? Now, I put at the top of this, first rule of finding area for quadrilaterals other than rectangles and squares is to break it down into rectangles, squares, and triangles. And you can do that, right? That is a way to do this. I could take each of these shapes and go doot, 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 doot. There's a triangle, doot, 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 doot. There's a triangle, and then I would have a rectangle here. So I could use what I learned in my previous lesson and find the area of that triangle, add them together, and then the area of that rectangle and add that, and then I would get my area. Guess what? For rhombuses, parallelograms, and trapezoids, there's a so much easier way to do it. All right? So let's do it the easy way. So for a rhombus, you just have to remember it's A times H. H still being the height. Okay, so you go here, and we've got our dotted line showing us, we've got our H for height. And then A is just each of the sides. Okay, so you've got 4 sides that are exactly the same. So I'm telling you A is equal to 5. So it's 5, 5, 5, 5. So my perimeter would be, that's right, 20. But my area is going to be this 5 times whatever the height is, okay? Because remember, we can't just say that this is, we know that this is 5 long, but it's, we scooched it. We took our square and went, ah. So, this height is actually 6, all right? Did I tell you whether it's inches, feet? No, okay? So we're just going to use units. So the area of this rhombus is 5 times 6. Well, 5 times 6 is 30. So we have 30 square units. All right? Easy enough, right? Now, that's for a rhombus. And remember, a rhombus has all 4 sides that are the same. A parallelogram is similar, but not the same. It's got 2 short sides that are parallel and opposite, and 2 long sides that are parallel and opposite. So for a parallelogram, you're going to use the longer sides. So for this example, we're just calling it B. Whatever the length is for this side here, the longer side, B, we are going to multiply that again by the height. So we look at our little dotted line to make that a straight and. So this is 7 units, and this is 8 units. So 7 times 8, you know what, I should have done this, 5 times 6, like that. So over here, it's 7 times 8. Well, 7 times 8 is 56. So it's 56 square units. And again, you can just say units squared like that if you want. All right? Now, the trapezoid. Remember, a trapezoid only has these one set of parallel lines. Okay? They're not the same length, but they are parallel. So here, for a trapezoid, it gets a little bit more complicated. Not difficult, there's just an added step in here. Okay? Like a triangle, we have to divide by 2, but first we're going to take these 2 parallel sides. Whatever the lengths are, we're going to add them together. So we're calling that A1 and A2. Right? Those are the parallel ones. The B's, they're not parallel. They're going to intersect at some point. So, A1 plus A2, then we divide that by 2, and then multiply it by H. So we're like, okay. So, A1 is 7, so I've got 7 plus A2 is 5, so 5. I'm going to divide that by 2, and then multiply it by H, and it says the H is 6. Okay? All right. So 7 plus 5 is, 12. And 12 divided by 2 is 6. And 6 times 6 is 36 square units. All right. This is where using your notes is going to come in handy, because I know that you're not going to memorize these formulas. For standardized tests, they usually give you a little piece of paper that shows you all the formulas as like a little cheat sheet. So again, use your notes. That's why we're doing this. All right? I need to know that you can find it in your notes and follow your notes. This is how you're going to do it. Now, what about those polygons? All right, well, we could break it into triangle, 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 and do all those individual. That's just redonkulous. No. So for regular n-gons, I know you're like, what's an n-gon? N meaning whatever, like pentagon, septagon, decagon. Okay, so for regular n-gons, there is a specific and very easy formula to use. Okay, so for any of our gons, we have area is equal to 1/2 times A times N times S. Okay, we could also write it A times N times S divided by 2. It's the same thing. Okay? Now, I know you're going, A-N, what? Where are these letters coming from, Mrs.? Oh my gosh, we didn't have those in 101. No, we didn't. Okay? So, when you're finding area, you've got a center point, and then you measure down. That's going to be your A. This is your A. Now, for this gon, it's 4 units. No, 4 inches. I'm using inches on this one. Okay, S is the length of one of the sides. Okay, this is an S. Right, we've got a bunch of S's here. These are 3-inch sides. And then N is the number of sides. So you still have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is a septagon. It's a 7. I like to write, when I count, you notice I always put the lines there so I don't double count. And then I like to stick the number in the middle with a little circle around it. So now I remember this is 7 sides. So now we plug in our numbers. A is what? Whoops, I didn't need to write A. Okay, we said A is 4 times N. How many sides? 7 times, what is the measurement of one side? 3. And the whole thing is divided by 2. Slide it up so you can see. So 4 times 7 is 28. Times 3, so I'm going to use my calculator. 28 times 3 is 84 divided by 2. Well, that is going to be 42. So 42 square inches. Are you with me? So it's not that difficult. It's just a couple of extra steps. Not that big of a deal. Let's try this pentagon. All right, so we know that it's a pentagon. We've got 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Now, here's my A from the center up, or down, or whatever. My A is going to be 6 yards. We're using yards. So, I've got 6 yards times, my N is 5, times the length of one side is 4 yards right there. So times 4. And all of that is going to be divided by 2. We continue on. 6 times 5 is 30 times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Put a 0, so that's 120. Divided by 2 is 60. So we have 60 square yards. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Last one. How many sides do we have? All right, this is a decagon because we have 10 sides. We've got our A is 11. So it's 11 times, we said we have 10 sides. And how much is one side? 7. All of that divided by 2. So we have, how about this? 11 times 7 is 77. And then times 10 more is 770. Now, divide that by 2. 770 times 2, or no, divided by 2. Hello! Divided by 2. That's 385. So we have an area of 385 square centimeters. That's all there is to doing these different polygons. Use your notes to use the formulas. Okay, you're not going to memorize it. I have some of it memorized, but that's because A, I'm a teacher, B, I'm doing it longer than you, and C, I've done it more than once. So, you go ahead, let's get going, and I'll see you when I see ya.